Hi, and welcome to a brand new video. So today we're going to be testing out the add strings question. So basically, you have two strings with integers in them, and you need to return a string that adds those two numbers inside the strings, but you're not allowed to convert them to integers directly. So this is a quite interesting problem, but what we're going to do is first we're going to reverse the strings so that we can add them from the back to the front, and then we're going to add them by taking the character. So let's actually do that more in depth. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a string builder, and string builders allow you to reverse the string. So just pass in num1 here, and then we're going to say reversed 1 is equal to a dot reverse dot toString. And then you can do the same thing with the other one. So we do reverse 2 is equal to b dot reverse dot toString. Perfect. And I'm just going to make sure that's perfect. String builder looks like it's imported, but just to make sure, why don't we just import it? Perfect, perfect, perfect. So now that we have the reverse strings, we're going to want to iterate through them. So we're going to do a for loop where we do for int I equals 0. And I is going to be the math.max of reverse 1 dot length and reverse 2 dot length. And because these two strings can be different lengths, as you can tell in these first two examples here, we have this one shorter than this one, and here we have this one bigger than this one. So we're going to take the maximum because no matter whether it is over or not, it's the same code, right? You want to see whether or not there's a carry over or not. So I++. So what do we do inside this for loop? Well, before we get to that, we just need to create two variables. First, ands, which is what we're going to be returning. And then we also need to create int carry, which carry is like the carryover. So if we add like 4 plus 7, the answer is 13. So you carry over the 1, right? So we need to keep track of that across iteration. So that's why we create that variable too. But inside the for loop, we're going to add these two the characters at these two indexes. So we're going to say int sum equals 0 if I is less than reverse 1 dot length, sum plus equals reverse the char at I, and you need to convert this to an integer, and this is reverse 1. And then one thing that you do need to do here is that by doing this, it will convert it to the Java index, which basically means that if you have like a capital letter A, it'll convert it to, I think it's 64. It won't convert it to 1. So what we need to do is we need to subtract 0, and that will basically just get, if this is 0, then it'll get 0 minus the number of 0 is 0, right? So this will allow us to get the actual number inside the character. And then you want to do the same thing with reverse 2 plus equals int reverse 2 dot char at I minus 0. And I'm just going to show you kind of what I mean by that. I'm just going to return a blank here just so that we don't get an error when we run this. And I'm just going to system.out.println 1. Oh, I should convert this to an int. See, you get 49. And the reason you get 49 is because the character 1 is 49 in Java terms. So that's kind of why we're just subtracting 0 here. And then some when you carry over, you also need to add that. Remember, so if we have like here we have we add 6 plus 7, that's 13. We carry over 1 to the next operation, so we need to do 5 plus 7 plus 1. So we also need to add the carry over to sum here, so I'm just gonna say no, do that right here. So now that we have sum, there are two possible scenarios. Either sum has a carryover, so if sum is greater than equal to 10, and the other scenario. So in the other scenario, we just need to set carry equal to 0. And if it's not, we need to set carry equal to sum divided by 10, and they'll just get how many tens there are. So if it's 13, there's 110. And then we set sum equals sum mod 10. So sum will be 3 if you're doing 6 plus 7. And then lastly, what we need to do is we need to add sum to ands. So we need to do ands plus equals. And actually, I'm going to do a small little bug here just so that we can kind of see why that's happening. So I'll do ands plus equals sum. And then outside the for loop, we just have one more condition just in case if carry, because sometimes this, like in this example here, this might be, let's say, a 9, and then when you have to carry like 5 plus 7 is 12, you have to carry over, so then the answer is 1 0, that, right? So just in case if that happens, we just say if carry is greater than 0, ands plus equals carry. So if we run the code here, let me return ands. If you now run the code here, you can see that all of these are reversed. And the reason is because we're adding these in reverse. So if we just add it to sum, these are going to come up reverse. So all we need to do is do ands plus sum here. Sum plus ands. So this, it will add sum to the front of ands, and we need to do the same thing here. So now if you run this, you can see here that it comes up the proper direction. So I hope this video was helpful.